Caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the Caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Good evening and welcome, obviously, to the Caltrop. I am your host, Mike Calderese. And I got to tell you, because I tell everybody the honest, God's honest truth. I am getting a lot of hate, man. People do not like what I have to say. And I got to tell you something. If you're a hater of mine, if you hate me to the passion where you're going to send me emails and you're going to send me messages and you're going to post feverishly on my Facebook page, do me a favor. Get my song stuck in your head all fucking night. Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. Listen, I'm your defense mechanism, baby. And if you guys don't like it, I don't give a shit. I'm your defense mechanism from bullshit. I'm the person that's going to tell you what you don't want to hear. And apparently a lot of people don't want to hear what I have to say. Because unfortunately for Calstradamus, if you're new to the fucking program, I am called the Great Calstradamus, and I'm called that for a reason. Because somehow, some way, I don't know how it is, I predict accurately what the hell's going to happen politically. People don't listen to me. People want to hate on me. People want to call me a dumbass Mason, a moron, an idiot. What do you know? All you do is lay bricks. What does a Mason know? I don't know. I just happen to get everything right about COVID. Happen to nail the fucking Trump, everything about Trump. That whole map. And now I pretty much nailed this. Now I got some things wrong. We're going to go through it, but we have a great show for you tonight. I want to start off like that because I'm going to be coming at you guys with a couple little things, some fun things that people had a problem with, I guess, when I post some things. Now listen, one thing maybe you might want to understand about me is I post a lot of things to get conversation. So if you take everything I have to say to heart, you're going to be really, really troubled in your existence. But I am wearing red today. It's not for Republicans. It's for the death of New York City. New York City definitely died. But listen, guys, we are going to go through the election coverage. I don't have a lot of fluff for you tonight. Honestly, this is going to rely. I would love it if you could put your thoughts in the chat. If you would like to actually get on the show and tell your thoughts, I have no problem with that. I will send you the link. Go ahead and send a message. Put it in the chat. Put it in one of the chats, whether it be the Rumble chat, Facebook chat, YouTube. I can see Rumble and YouTube on the screen. I will check out Facebook. But if you do want it, I will put the link in the chat, and then you can get on me and tell me your thoughts because I would love to hear from you because I'm hearing a lot of ridiculous things. So let's start there. Let's get the show off right with the mics right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, everybody, listen. I got the fallout needs to stop. All right, you know when Trump lost in 2020, there was a lot of bullshit that was going on. There was a lot of clear rigging. There was a lot of clear shenanigans going on, ballot harvesting, and the whole nine yards. But now suddenly, the Republicans get themselves worked up with this red wave horseshit. The red wave, how many times has it not been? Can we stop with the red wave shit? But you guys are so hopped up on Trump crack where you're like sniffing fucking Cheeto dust out of his asshole that you expect to take New York. And somehow you expect to take New York with the Democrat that you adopted as a Republican. Cuomo's like your redheaded stepchild Republican right now. I don't even know how it worked. But everyone's reacting like, oh my God, the Republicans took giant losses. What giant losses have we won? You know, the Democrats are gloating like they're a professional football team who just beat a 12U team 50-0. You should have won these races. And with all the fake polls that were out there in New York, New Jersey, there were some polls that had Mikey Sherrill up by 7 points, 8 points. They were making fun of Fox News for having her up 10 at one point. But this red wave shit, you guys get yourself so hopped up on this Trump Cheeto dust out of his fucking ass that you think that you are going to take every single state. And I'm going to admit it, I got caught up in it as well a little bit. I'm going to tell you when in a second, because that was one of the predictions I actually got wrong, and I went against myself because you guys have been listening to me rail against Chitterelli this entire time because he's a shit candidate. But I will circle back to that. We'll Jen Psaki that. Let's make it very, very, very clear so a lot of you guys can get off this crazy lunatic ledge that you're on. The Democrats should have won these races. I predicted Virginia. It was easy to predict New York. But all you have to do is pay attention. All you have to do is pay attention and not get caught up in the echo chambers. Take a look at what everything is going out there. How about you just listen to me and shut the fuck up? And I will tell you the God's honest truth, whether, even the things that you don't want to hear. These are 3 blue states. The Democrats beat another Democrat in New York, so I don't know how the Republicans are taking a loss for that. In New Jersey, that's a giant loss. We're going to get to that in a second. In Virginia, that's a very big loss, but it's really not. Glenn Youngkin was like I don't know, an outlier 4 years ago. Donald Trump lost Virginia pretty big. We thought it was going to be very close. What was it, 6, 7, 8 points in Virginia? Virginia's shooting over to the left, guys. I got news for you. But here we are. We're having like a post-mortem, and everybody is losing their mind, and we're going off saying, oh, it had to be rigged, Dominion voting machines again, and all this garbage. How about you guys realize what actually took place? This is what has taken place, and maybe you don't realize it. Trump really triggers Democrats. They turn off against him. Republicans cannot win when Trump's not on the ballot. Have you noticed that? From 2016, if he's not directly on the ballot, they do not win. They lose. And why is that? You have a bunch of people that are either trying to run slightly away from MAGA or trying to run too much to MAGA, and they can't pull off MAGA. Or if you look at a situation like New Jersey, you have someone like Jack Ciattarelli who completely ran away from MAGA in 2020 when he should have embraced it and he would have beat Phil Murphy. But Republicans don't turn out for him. He runs away from MAGA. He runs away from the insurrection. There was no election no election rigging. Then lo and behold, he loses in the exact same way. And he doesn't have a leg to stand on. But then what? 4 years later, all of a sudden he's ultra MAGA. But then when you put him in the debate, he doesn't even admit to it. And everyone's sitting here wondering, why the hell did the Republicans lose? Why did they lose? Oh my God, I can't believe, why did they lose? Because the Republicans in New Jersey run people like Jack Ciattarelli. And a lot of you guys are not going to want to hear this. But if you've been listening to my show, even the last show, when he decided to run or he was going against Spadia, he is a shit candidate. Republicans in New Jersey are not unlike Republicans everywhere else. We don't want a middle-of-the-road candidate. If you're a hardcore Republican MAGA guy in New Jersey, you're probably the hardest MAGA you could ever possibly be because you're MAGA in the face of our sea of blue liberalism, in the sea of socialism. You're militant wearing Make America Great Again hats to restaurants. Not giving a solitary fuck. New Jersey Republicans are not middle-of-the-road people. And yet, our only Republican candidate ever is a middle of the road guy. Is a guy that's right down the middle for abortion. He's we could give illegals driver's license. We could do that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to force your kid to have vaccines going to school. That was Jack Ciattarelli. Now he wanted the border closed. He embraced MAGA somewhat. But you have a guy that's been running in New Jersey. He's not an unknown commodity. He has already turned off how many people? He's already done this. If Jack Ciattarelli, everybody, if he was in Congress and he wasn't running for governor of New Jersey, he is the type of Republican that every single Republican in New Jersey hates. And you know I'm telling you the truth. You know he'd be the one over there mixing it up with the Democrats, voting with the Democrats. We kind of have to have some abortion rights. You know what? We kind of have to have some type of gun rights. Can't we all agree on that? You all know who this guy is. And everybody sits there and wonders, why did this happen? Why does it happen? Because we run shit candidates. We run shit candidates at the local level. We run garbage candidates at the state level, at the federal level. You only have two choices of shit candidates put there by the good old boy Republican Club. And I'm going to get into Brick in a second. And when we break down Brick Township, New Jersey is a microcosm of the entire problem with the Republican Party in the state of New Jersey. And if you really want to understand, why don't we do it now? If you really want to understand the state of New Jersey, why it lost, let's look at Brick, New Jersey. So Brick, New Jersey has got a Republican club that has their head so far up their ass, they have no idea that if they fart, they're going to shit on themselves or dust is going to come out because they're so fucking old. These people still think that you have to go and knock on every single door. They haven't obviously realized that you could watch me through a fucking camera, that you could reach 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000, 100,000 people. Not my show. I'm reaching like 7. That's all right. We're good. Well, that's what they think I reached. But in this town, we have a really bad Republican Party. So bad that the Democrats were able to fake not being Democrat, run a better Republican campaign than the Republicans of Bricktown ran. And then something fucking crazy happened. Another one of my predictions, or maybe my suggestions, I don't know what it is. The Republicans said, why am I going to come on your show? You don't get that many views anyway. Apparently, more people watch than they think. Because one of the things I suggested was a split ballot. If you're going to vote for Crate, vote for all the people on the right. Let's have a divided government. We needed a divided government in the council. And what happened? You had our mayor outperform her own team. Her entire team lost. Got like 1,500 less votes than she did. The Republican candidate's whole team got about 700 to 1,000 more votes than the Republican candidate got. So that means people are ripping down Jack, fucking McLaughlin and all these people. Boom, 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 boom. Then went Crate. Republican, Republican, Republican. That's what happened in New Jersey's ballot. You could sit there and say it didn't happen. I know people that did exactly that. And why did they do that? Why did that happen? Because everybody, especially in my town, understands that the Republican Party has brought us the horseshit that we have seen all over this county. We understand that the people behind that candidate are the problem. The candidate's not necessarily the worst person in the world. The candidate sometimes could actually be a pretty good candidate. But the people behind that candidate mess their heads up so bad. I wanted to say something completely different, but I'm trying to keep it family friendly. They mess their heads up so bad. They get them ingrained in their brain. They don't know what to say. They're trying to think about what to say. They're not being their authentic selves. They don't go out there challenging the other person to debates. They sit back in their corners and lob these ridiculous insults through mailers. And it's nothing but a pure propaganda campaign. But you have the people that are behind that candidate are the worst people on this earth. And everyone in Brick that votes that way knows that I don't want the people behind that candidate having anywhere near any power. But we also don't like the other party. And we also don't like how that council has been acting. Because, their favorability, if we actually had favorability ratings in our town, it'd be with Congress. It'd be like 13%. Half the people don't even look up at you. So we understand that we don't want crates to have unfettered power. So what happened? All the Republican council won. They swept it. And they didn't just sweep it. They swept it big. Couple like 2,000 votes at this point. And 2 of the Republican candidates beat the mayor in overall votes. 2 of them. And 1 is like right there. When it's all said and done, I don't think he's going to actually pull that out. But 2 of the council candidates beat the mayor in overall votes. And the mayor candidate for the Republicans could not win. She lost by 261 votes as of tonight. 261. And you know what's funny? I told them it was going to happen. I said it to them. I sat down with the Republicans in March and told them what their problems were. Told them how the Democrats were going to attack them and asked them what they were going to do about it. We got it, they said. So what did they do? They have been labeled the high tax party. They had an outsider who wanted to run, and then they had an insider who wanted to run. That was part of the Good Old Boys Club, part of the Brick Township Republican Club for years. She is a wonderful person. And I don't mean to say anything bad to her, but this is analyzing politics. And I'm telling you this story because this is what happens nationwide, statewide, you name it. So they bring in they have 2 candidates, one local who's a guy that everybody knows, great name recognition. He wants to run. They kind of force him out in favor of this other candidate. She runs opposed in the primary. She's the one that's running, okay? She happens to be in charge, the president of the school board. The school board is forced through Murphy to raise taxes. So what the Murphy administration did was they took millions of dollars from our district, then forced all of the school boards to raise taxes on us. And if we didn't raise taxes enough, they came in, overstepped you, and just raised it whatever they wanted. So in the case of like Toms River, New Jersey, the school board said, no, we've already raised taxes enough. We just had a referendum. We're not raising taxes anymore. You guys stole $100 million from us. How about you give us some of that money back? They go, oh, yeah, you don't want to do that? Go fuck yourself. Now we take over full control. We're hit you with a 14.7 or whatever the hell it was. I think it was 14.7% tax increase. So they do that. The township does that, the state does that. And now, our candidate, the Republican candidate, is in a position where she has to raise taxes or she's going to lose control. So they worked their ass off to raise taxes the minimum amount. But what does that do? You ran a candidate as a gift wrap to the other party who's been hitting you as the high tax party. So you just call us high taxing for another series, for another round of elections. 12 years of it, I guess, isn't enough. You want it to be labeled that again, and there you go. And you gift wrap that type of argument to the Democrats. Democrats in the state of New Jersey that for some reason, none of the Republicans hit as the higher taxers. It's the most unbelievable shit to watch. Mikey Sherrill called Jack a high tax guy when he was in the assembly. All he wants to do is tax. The Republicans have zero control in New Jersey. Zero. So how, every single tax, every single price increase, all the unaffordability, everything in this state is the Democrats' fault. Every single thing that people don't like and all the problems that people see are the Democrats' fault. But somehow we have such feckless Republicans that they can't make it stick to Mikey Sherrill. People don't even learn. This is what bothers me. They don't learn from what Trump did. During these debates, Jack should have been calling Mikey Sherrill like Mikey Murphy the entire time, or Phil Sherrill. Something like that. He should have been tying her right to Phil Murphy because people in the state don't like him. No, but what were they doing to Jack? They were tying him to Trump. Let's build up this. Let's get our voter base revved up because they know if they turn out their voter base in New Jersey, it's over with. And they know that nothing triggers a leftist like Trump. And like a bitch, what does Jack Ciattarelli do? He needs every single Republican to vote for him. So he doesn't run to Trump. No. He tries sidestepping and play in the middle game like Cuomo did. Hey, would you go to this basketball game or that basketball game? I'll go to both. He tries playing the middle ground, hoping to steal some Democrats, because every single person in New Jersey thinks that that's what you have to do. Every Republican thinks, oh, we have to run the moderate to appease and try to get some of the Democrats and get some of the independents. You're not doing it. It's not fucking happening. That type of thought process brought us Chris Christie and is probably never going to get us another Republican afterwards because of him. That's not the person we want. That's not. We want the person that's going to turn out all of the Republicans. 50% of Republicans stayed home. In my county alone, 25,000 registered Republicans did not vote. I think in my town. 30,000 votes total for both candidates. 32,000 votes total for both candidates. 25,000 registered voters did not vote. And people want to say it's rigged. People want to say, oh, the Democrats cheat. What do they do? What are they doing? Fucking getting you blowjobs so you stay on the couch and you don't go vote? You only have a month and a half to do it in New Jersey. What's your fucking excuse? But I like it. If you're that stupid where you can't pay attention, then you deserve it. But it's unbelievable. I want you to look at this text message. You ready? Check this out. Just to highlight what actually happened. So when I was questioning the brick Republicans in this town, I sent the message basically criticizing their entire approach, their entire fucking approach to this election. And I think this text message from this idiot campaign manager from the Brick Republican Club is going to sum this up perfectly. You ready for this? He goes like this. But again, Mike, like I mentioned to you before, those people that attend that event are most likely hardcore Republicans. I would be hard-pressed to believe that they would still not vote Republican. I can't help what Jack does. He didn't show up to our picnic. Now we're going to get into that last part of the statement, but think about what that man just said to me. What that man just said to me was, I'm taking the Republicans for granted in Bricktown. They're going to vote for us, period. Even though he went into this thing knowing that 30% of Republicans that voted for Mayor Crate. He told me that. He knew that. He knew it was his job to get Republicans to his side. And he tells me something like that. Then they criticize my show. They don't show up to the show. And then lo and behold, Mayor Crate does. She steals his votes, 261. You don't think she swayed 261 sitting in this chair next to me when that show got over 7,000 views across all platforms? She moved my mom. My mom was calling her a demon. Didn't know her, but she was a Democrat. Just because you're a D, you're a demon. All of a sudden, my mom goes, wow, she really doesn't sound like a lunatic. She moved my mother. You know how hard that is? It's like that. You can't get her to move. Once she's set in her mind, she's like me. You know, I get it from my mom and my dad. We are hard-headed people. But she came on my show and moved my mom a little bit. So what does that tell you? That tell you she did the things that were necessary. She played it smart. They played it stupid. She didn't take the Republican voter for granted. She didn't take the Democrat voter for granted. She came out, made a case, outperformed her team by 1,500 votes, while you have this asshole here wondering why he lost by 261. And then he says, I can't help what Jack does. He didn't even show up to our picnic. That's another thing. I said this to you guys before, and this is probably going to piss people off, but I don't care because this is accurate in what I'm going to say. I don't care what anybody says. Last night was a very big rebuke of the Jewish communities in New York and in New Jersey. If you notice, a lot of people had this race very, very, very close to New Jersey. And then all of a sudden, Trump started hammering that Orthodox Jewish community, you guys need to show up. You had Jack that was with them every other week. It seemed like every day he was spending his time in Lakewood. And what people really don't understand in my community and in any community where there's Jewish people, and I'm telling you, it's like everyone wonders, they call it anti-Semitism, but at some point, everyone has to figure out what people are doing that make people hate you. Because these type of things go on, and what you see is you see two different communities, and I've spoken about this before, but you have the Jewish community in Ocean County, and then you have everyone else. And you take a hardcore Trumper, you take someone like me, and you show them that Jack is there all the time, and then he stands brick up. An area that has 73,000 voters. We were the highest vote percentage for Donald Trump. Well, not the highest. Sorry, that was Lakewood. They went 90%. But we were like, besides the Jewish community, we were 73%, I think, for Donald Trump. Ocean County, Bricktown. But you have that type of situation where he stands those guys up and he's with somebody else. And when that starts happening, for whatever reason, these younger voters, as you saw in Mamdani, 80% of the young voters, I think 28 and under, went for Mamdani up there. There is a big undertone, a big undercurrent in the younger population that is definitely 100% against whatever the Jewish communities are doing. Now, was that anti-Semitism, or was that learned behavior from things that they witnessed growing up? Because I can tell you there's a lot of people in my town that don't hate Jews. They hate that behavior that they do. And when I say do, it's specific people. But I'm going to finish up with this. If you want something different in New Jersey, you have to start demanding something different. And, everyone sits there and says, oh, we lost hope. New Jersey's ridiculous. It's bullshit. There's nothing we could do. There is something you could do. You could get involved locally in your town. And how about before you try changing the state and before you try changing the country, how about you change your own backyard? How about you clean up your town first? How about you make your Republican Party better? Because I'm going to tell you something, guys. When you walk in there and you just go, R, you're an R. I could say retard, but it's Republican. I mean, they're the same at this point. But if you just do that, they're not earning your vote. They know they just got your vote because you identify as an R. And when you do that type of lazy-ass election voting and you don't even know the names of the people, they don't even want to come and talk to people like me to tell you who they are. What are you doing ultimately? You're not making them earn that vote. You're just handing it to them. Are they going to get any better by doing that? No. You know what you're going to attract? You're going to attract the vultures. You're going to attract the leeches. And that's all you see in politics, isn't it? You're going to attract the lowest of the low because there's no accountability for them. All they got to do is tell you what they think you want to hear. Say it convincingly. If you're on the left, all you got to do is say free, 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 free. And they know you're going to be stupid enough to vote for them. Because you're not paying attention. Because you're not doing the right things. You're not making them actually earn it. And that's the craziest part about this entire thing with Jack Ciattarelli. This election, course, he probably ran his best campaign. He was everywhere. I thought he was actually trying to earn the vote. But then you hear stories like a buddy of mine who says, you know what? I messaged both people, both campaigns. Mikey Sherrill called me back. I didn't hear back from the Ciattarelli campaign. Mikey Sherrill called that person personally, a registered Republican. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you about the entire, bullshit system and narrative? It just goes to show you. And there's one more point here. If you remember this man right here, this is my man, Chris Pollock, right? So Chris Pollock's from Jackson, New Jersey. We had him on the show. He ran against this. He ran against the machine, and the machine came out against him. Hit pieces, fake news articles, fake newspapers, articles calling him a pedophile, articles digging up shit that he said 15 years ago, taken it out of context. doing anything and everything dirty and disgusting and horrible, lies to destroy this man. And you know what he won by? Check this out. This is absolutely phenomenal. Where are you? Where did I not put that in there? I thought I did. Let's see. Is that it? Nope, that's definitely not it. Oh, there it is. Right underneath him. Stupid. There you go. So check this out. This is a 61% victory. This is 12,300 votes to 7,600 votes. What does that tell you? What do all these things tell you when you start looking at it? That's a guy that went out and spoke his mind. That's a guy that went out and spoke with some passion. That's a guy that has it. But he wasn't afraid to say what needed to be said. He wasn't out there watching every single one of his words. He wasn't out there, field testing what he should be saying, what he should not be saying. He was just thinking it, saying it. And if New Jersey wants to learn anything, we should learn something from the campaign that man did. He had basically no money. He used yard signs and videos. That's all he did. TikTok, Facebook, all of them. He had rallies. He was in the public. He was meeting people. And my man got 12,000 out of 20,000 votes. 62% of the vote he got. And I'll put him up one more time. Chris Pollock projected to win the race. And it was funny because I was messaging him. I was on top of my game last night with some of these updates, and I think I was giving everybody updates before they were even getting them from the county. So I thought that was great. But let's get to some fun stuff because I'm going to go through. I'll take some of your questions, but I have one more thing to kind of go through. Check this out. Everybody is triggered over this. Everybody is losing their shit. I wrote today Cal Stradamus prediction. Now that communist Muslim has his filthy hands on the NYPD counterterrorism database, within 2 years, there will be an attack on NYC. Good luck, New York. You deserve it. And man, did people have a problem with that? That's why I started off, because people were really giving me shit, about that whole statement. But I stand by it 120%. Does anybody realize that a guy that, listen, say what you want about the Muslim religion. Some people call it the religion of evil. Some call it, the religion of peace. It's not. I think that's been demonstrated. I do think the far, 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 far majority of Muslims are not maniacs that want to blow you up, but they do believe that their God is the one true God as well. But you do now have a Muslim that has access to the NYPD's counterterrorism database. Since 9/11, the NYPD has spent, I don't know how many millions of dollars, how many billions of dollars on counterterrorism in New York to try to keep that city safe. And you have a guy that's in office that not only sympathized with Hamas, but sympathized with Palestine, sympathized with the terrorists that were getting blown up. Do you think he's not going to look at this list and say, oh, I know that guy? Start telling people you're on the database? Do you think this type of shit's not going to happen? Do you think when they get a real alert where it's someone on the Muslim community, do you think he's going to take it serious? Or do you think he's going to say, oh, this is just anti-Islam? Are these so horrible things to say? Oh, no, I guess it was they deserved it that everyone had a problem with. What's the problem? They fucking deserve it. You deserve it. You vote for this shit. You deserve it. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how plainly I could say it. If you shoot up heroin in your arm and you know it's laced with fentanyl, you deserve whatever's coming to you. You run a red light, you deserve to get in an accident. You eat McDonald's by the fistful every day, you deserve to get craned from your fucking house. What do you want me to tell you guys? You voted for this. Yes, you deserve everything coming to you. You deserve the socialism. You deserve the communism. You deserve everybody being broke. You deserve people with money leaving. Every one of you guys that have voted in your own favor through your own selfishness, through your own fucking poor greed, you deserve what's coming. And if you're going to put a communist Muslim who believes in Sharia law, who espoused all type of ridiculous shit before he ran and then walked all that stuff back, who came out in his victory speech not as a nice person, not as a unifier, not as a dude that was nice and calm and smiley and all cheesing and shit with his wife. No. You heard a motherfucking dictator. Didn't you? Oh, but it's okay when they're a Muslim dictator. Then you love it, don't you, you left-wing motherfuckers? Yeah, you do. You love it. It's very interesting. And I like this. I have a couple of videos here. This is Scott Jennings basically calling out Van Jones, because Van Jones during this broadcast was talking about how awesome everything was going to be and how he was going to be a unifying voice. Then the second that guy was done talking, Van Jones like this. Yo, that was some fucked up shit. Scott Jennings hammered him on it.
Oh, are you saying he wasn't the unifying voice of a generation that you predicted mere moments ago? Axe, where was the man that you predicted would not slice and dice the other? Look, guys, he started his speech by quoting Eugene Debs, who ran for president of the United States 5 times as the Socialist Party of America candidate. He repeatedly attacked people in this. No, I know my socialists. I keep a close eye on them.
Yeah,
I work here. So here's the thing. He went after everybody that he thinks is a problem. People who own things, people who have businesses. He said an interesting quote: "No problem too large for government to solve."
Or too small, important.
And so when you think of the world that way, that every problem, no matter how small or how large, is something for government to do, let me just decipher this for you. Tax increases as far as the eye can see, which means the people who need to provide jobs to the young people that you say need jobs are going to flee as quickly as they possibly can. I think this was a divisive speech, and he clearly sees the world in terms of the people who are oppressing you and the oppressed. And he said the oppressed are now in City Hall.
The oppressed are now in City Hall. But think about what he says. And I love CNN because it's like they rush to clarify and they don't even understand what he's talking about. And then he just says something so subtly that the person's like, oh, shit, I should have just shut my mouth. No problem too large is what Mom Dami said. And then she corrects him and says, or too small. Yes, bitch, but that's a problem. That's the problem. Government fixing every problem of yours, small or large. I mean, if anybody could tell me a problem that the government has ever solved, I bet let's play a game right now. And I've neglected the chat. I don't even know if I'm going to look at it right now because I'm just on a fucking full-on tear rant. But let's play a game. In the chat, list all the things that the government has solved. And then, for shits and giggles, go ahead and start listing all the problems that the government caused, and ask yourself if all of the solutions that they think they have are related to any of the problems that they created. Let's just play that game. Go ahead, list them in the chat. Start firing them away. Just fire them out when you know them. But I had a lot of people. I had my buddy Vinny all pissed off at saying that these people deserve it. I have this woman in the chat. It's funny. I'm gonna read one of her comments. She wrote, considering he wrote on his page that NYC deserves a terrorist attack for electing Mamdani, I'd rethink his stance. Did I say they deserved a terrorist attack? No, I just said, good luck, New York. You deserve it. You deserve whatever's coming. And if that is a terrorist attack, you voted for it. Don't be mad at me that they voted for a terrorist attack. If they get one, it's on them. I wouldn't be in New York City with this fucking guy. With him? With that guy? With this guy? I mean, look at that. 81% of Mamdani. 81% of women went for Mamdani. 80% went for Cheryl, and 78% went for Spanberger. So women voted women voted for Mamdani, who is a Muslim. And when you look at the Muslim religion, I don't know if there is more of an oppressive religion to women. And liberal women voted for this. It's so hard to wrap my mind around that liberal women voted for an oppressive type religious person. And you know what the funniest part about it is? His wife, I see, she doesn't wear like the burqa. She didn't have her head covered. Apparently, from what I understand, she's like the powerhouse behind that guy's campaign. But you got to love this. It got hacked. Did you guys see this? It got hacked. And it said, Trump is your president. That's what came on his screen. I mean, you got to love this type of stuff. Where was it? There it was. I brought up the wrong picture for you. So all of a sudden that popped up right on their screen and started talking about that. You know, I brought out a lot of things about communism, and you know, I asked ChatGPT, you know, what happens when communism fails, right? And this is some of the answers that they gave us. It said people support communist ideas for the promise of equality, guaranteed basic needs like housing and healthcare, and elimination of poverty and unemployment. So I'm going to read you this really quick because this guy claims to be a democratic socialism. So let's take a couple minutes just to kind of go over everything. Because, you know, I am a detail-oriented human being. I want to know exactly what these guys mean when they say democratic socialist, because I don't know how you could vote yourself free shit from other people. I don't know how that's allowed. I don't know how it's allowed to promise people that you're going to take something from somebody and give it to somebody else. I don't understand how that type of politicking, how that's even allowed to take place. But it is. But it says, however, the implementation of communist systems often leads to widespread poverty due to the abolishment of private property, state control of resources, and lack of individual incentives and freedoms. All right. So now let's look at what democratic socialism is. A democratic socialist believes in a democratic political system with a socialist economy, which means where the means of production are socially owned to benefit the public rather than private profit. This ideology supports using democratic institutions to gradually reform capitalism, often by expanding social programs, worker cooperatives, and government control over essential services like healthcare and utilities. Democratic socialists aim to reduce economic inequality where are not the same as the authoritarian models of socialism. So it's not the same. It's really, really, really different. It's not communism at all, right? Because what I just read, equality, guaranteed basic needs like housing, healthcare, and the elimination of poverty and unemployment. That's not the same exact thing as what I just read. No. Was it? Wait a second. Democratic socialists too. Let's see what they believe. They believe the democratic process extends to the economy, not just politics. They advocate for social ownership of the means of production through methods like worker cooperatives, social wealth funds, or nationalization of major industries. Economic equality. Holy shit. Wait a second. Yep, there's that equality word. There's that fucking equality word. They're totally different. I swear to God. Democratic socialism is not communism. How dare you even say it? It's totally 100% different because we vote for it. Economic equality. They seek to minimize economic inequality and ensure that everyone can prosper, viewing capitalism as a system that can be inherently incapable with equality and solidarity and the focus on the public good. They prioritize the public good over the private profit, especially in sectors like healthcare. So the public good. Wait a second. I think we have commie 2, right? Where is this? Is it commie 4? Oh, the abolition of private property. No, okay, that's wait, was that democratic socialism or is that communism? Hold on, let's see. More things. Elimination of unemployment and competition. Response to inequality. Holy shit, these are all communist stuff. I thought the democratic socialists were different. Authoritarian governance and suppression of freedoms to enforce state control and to suppress dissidents from those that risk confiscation of property. Communist regimes often resort to authoritarian measures. This is absolutely incredible how many similarities they are with communism. And prioritizing the collective over the individual is part of communism. Isn't that what we just read in Democratic Socialism? Focus on the public good. Focus on the public good, okay? Or Commie 6, focus on the collective over the individual. It's just adding more words to it. It's like saying people of color instead of color. I don't know what the difference is. One is offensive, the other one's not, because we added 2 words to it. People of color. It's not offensive in any way. Color. That's right. It's fully racist. It's not communism at all. It's not. It's democratic socialism because we vote this shit in. We vote it. That's how it's democratic socialism. Oh man, I really can't with this. If you guys want to brighten up the mood, we actually went and it was Valentino's first trip to the polling booth right there. That's him walking in to vote, to push all the buttons that mommy didn't want to push. And then when he got done with voting and with election day, he looked like pretty much every Republican that I saw. Look at him. He's like, what the fuck was that horse shit that I just witnessed voting in the state of New Jersey? And now again, this is what every single one of the Republicans look like. And that was me and him. He had his little I voted sticker. He is too much. But that was the first time that little Valentino got into the voting process. Let me actually check the chat right now because I have really been neglecting the hell out of you guys. And I appreciate you guys. I said if you wanted to get on the show, you should get on the show. But I lied completely to you because I did nothing but talk this entire time. Let's see. Oh, nice. We have a lot of people in this chat. I love it. Come on, Blockhead. Is someone talking shit? Yes. Jay Callis says, take care of your brother. Whatever that means. Jersey Abe, 69 The Boat says, let's go, baby. Mama Dukes, A Goon, every single one of my guys. PT Pod. Hey, check it out. PT Pod. I'm going to get off exactly at 9 o'clock. Right after this, I want you to hop over to PT Pod. He does a watch party. It's one of his most fun video or fun shows to do. It's fucking funny. Anything that guy does. I missed the Power Sports Time, but I love it, man, because it's all like ESPN, the Ocho. You got to check that out. That's Tuesday nights. I believe it's 9 o'clock our time, Eastern Standard Time. The Boat says, what's up, Fresh Mike? Justin Dell, what's up, Justin Dell? Says, come on, Blockhead. The jury is still out on Pollock. We need to see who backed him. His elect report shows no money spent or donated. Even if he paid for his signs on his own, it needs to be shown as an expense. All right, man, I will check that out and talk to them. I know they had, I think they did everything on their own. I don't think they had much backing. I know the mayor of Jackson and him talked a little bit, and I think everyone tried to link him that he was with them, but I really don't think he had anybody behind him. I know his campaign manager came out of nowhere. It was he's never run a campaign or anything like that. He wanted to get into politics. It was kind of like a legit grassroots thing. 6 Designs said Zoran Mondami has already made multiple veiled threats on the American people, things that will likely become a reality. Yeah, man, this guy's saying this stuff. And did you see him when he already got elected? No, he feels like he's going to be president. I got news for every single one of you guys. That wasn't a dude that just wants to stop at mayor because it's the mayor. Everyone's making a big deal. It's the mayor of New York. He has to go through a legislature. Do you really think the governor is going to, in the legislature in New York, is going to let him do all of the shit he wants to do? Come on, give me a break. Let's everybody stop it. I love it. 6 Design says, daily Muslim prayers will be mandatory for all NYC population at some point or face death. These people want nothing more than death to America and Americans alike. Listen, when you're yelling in Hebrew, I have that guy. You want to see it? So listen, this is not people making this stuff up. This is really what's going on. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen this video. This is New York City. Everyone wonders why he lost. How did Mondami win? Well, this is New York City right here.
Hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be a part of, Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadan Rasulullah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
If we don't
it feels pretty good, honestly. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I love it. Fucking do these people. These people. This is what they're saying. And I got to tell you something. This is my problem with all your religions. This is why I want to have nothing to do with you. This is why we need freedom from religion. We need a constitutional amendment that says these people cannot vote themselves in their own fucking religion. I have freedom. I don't have to participate in your religion. In Dearborn, Michigan right now, they're being forced to hear the Muslim prayer. They are being forced into that religion. This type of shit is not right. This is out in the open. These are what these people are saying. It's not behind closed doors anymore. It's out wide open in your face. And I don't give a shit who wants to tell me that I'm wrong for saying, you know, New York, if you get a terrorist attack, you fucking deserve it, because you do. I didn't say you deserve a terrorist attack for this. I didn't say, hey, because you voted for it, you deserve to have a terrorist attack. That's not what I said. I said, if it happens, you deserved it. Because you brought it onto yourself. You brought it into your community. You voted for it. You let it take over. You didn't vote. You didn't stand up. You didn't fucking pay attention. You know who did? Them. Because they have an agenda. They have an agenda to overtake you. They have an agenda to come into your house. They have an agenda to turn you into them. I can't turn them into me. No. God forbid I tell a Muslim that they're fucking stupid and crazy for doing what they do. God forbid I look at some of the Jews and say, why the fuck are you doing that? Can't you just act like a normal person? God forbid I look at the Christians and say, keep your horse shit out of my government. And everyone wonders why I rail against religions. I don't rail against your religion. I rail against you being able to vote your religion in favor, putting me aside. That is not what this country is about. We have to have freedom from religion. We have to have a constitutional amendment. Because this stuff is happening. We just watched Mamdani get elected. We just watched it happen. I had something that was out there. And this one, ready? Check this out. And this is what this is what I talk about when I say you deserve what you vote for. And you deserve the choices that you made. Okay? If they happen to you, you deserve them. I'm not saying it should, but if you deserved it. And these are the results. And I want you to look at this. In 2020, England, Wales, Germany, France had about 8,000, and 7,500. This is rapes, okay? These are rapes in 2000. In 2023, England and Wales had 68,000 rapes. Germany had 39,000 rapes. And France had 42,000 rapes. 1,000. Now, say what you want, but there are cultures out there that don't deem it rape. They just deem it their right. You with me? There's a lot of them. There's a lot of people that come from cultures that have no respect for women. There's a lot of them. A lot of people, a lot of places. But then Poland, look what happened. They don't let people in their country. So they had 2,000 rapes. And in 2023, they had 1,000 rapes. You know what the difference is between Poland and everybody else? They didn't let anybody into their country. You had that one militant guy go up there being like, fuck you, not bringing them in. Don't give a shit, not doing it. You know why we're safe? Because we don't have those people. So when this stuff starts happening, and once again, by me saying this, I'm not saying all of them are like that. But I am saying a lot of them are. Especially when you take it from countries that have no idea. I don't know what's going on my camera right now, so I switched that one. You have a lot of people that are coming over. And I'm just saying, it's one of these things where we've got to get a grip on it. We've got to get a grip locally. That's the only thing I can continue to say to you guys, man. You have to get involved locally. And what you see is these people that are doing this, and they're using our own stuff against us. They're using our own behavior against us. They're using our system against us. And they are starting locally. They have started in New York. They've started in Dearborn, Michigan. They've started in select areas. It's not just one group. It's many groups. And they're going to be competing groups pretty soon. They just happen to be groups that have been warring for how long? I don't know. 2,000 years? Something like that? Very interesting. Jay Calda said, or Justin Dell said, Mamdani won't have direct access to those police records, but he will have the authority to appoint people into leadership positions that will, and in turn, share it with him. Yeah, I mean, that's the point. He's going to have access to this stuff. He's going to have access to really whatever he fucking wants. Jay Calda, not only access to the police anti-terror task force methods, but the staff also. Yes, I think there will be another terrorist attack on NYC, and it will be led by its mayor. Based on his own words, I'm saying this. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to anything Mamdani said leading up to this election. He's in a lot of places. They've scrubbed a lot of it, but you can find all types of stuff. Justin Dell says, I think a better way to put it is if NYC has a terror attack in the next 2 years, the majority brought it upon themselves for voting someone so extreme. Yes, Justin, that's a great way to put it. If I want to put it in the nice political words, it is a better way to put it. The majority brought it upon themselves, everybody. You don't fucking deserve it. You just brought it upon yourselves. But you know what's great? Trump didn't really give a shit.
2024, the American people reclaimed our government. We restored our sovereignty. We lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in New York, but we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Listen, apparently, I don't know how you could go from not being born in this country to being a American citizen for like 6 years or whatever it was. Now all of a sudden you're the mayor. I really do not get how that shit works. I really don't, guys. And you know what? Once again, you could call me whatever you want to call me with something like this. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on, how it's going on, and why it's going on. I'm going to tell you right now that if people don't realize that there is a serious divide, and it's more than just one, right? It's not just right and left. It's very interesting what's happening because we have to break this. We have to break that. Because while, like, you know, when you think about it, women are going to be voting themselves that Muslim. And then if Sharia law comes in, they have essentially voted themselves what they've been fighting against for their entire lives, liberal women. I don't know how they make that leap. I don't know how they make this work out inside their heads. Because it's everything you've been fighting against forever. You just voted for it. So yeah, if they get that and they get oppressed down the road, because I don't give a shit what anybody says. Real Muslims, women have their face covered, women have just their eyes showing, their entire body, head to toe. Their men could beat the shit out of them, could honor kill them. If they look at another man, they could had their head chopped off. You don't believe me? This happens. Don't get educated past the grade of 11 or past the age of 11. This is real stuff. This is stuff in the Quran. Don't believe me? Look that shit up. But here we go. It's actually, wow, that hour went really fast. I'm going to get one more thing in really quick before we drop you guys off here. And this is another thing that I just find so absolutely disgusting. Stephon Diggs of the Patriots, I think he just got traded, is expecting 4 kids with 4 different women, like at the same time. Pull out, man. Just, I mean, can you try condom something? But this is the type of problem. It's because those kids are not going to grow up with a father. They're going to grow up with a mother. And then because they were oppressed their entire lives with not a father growing up in the house, they are going to be the people that are going to be voting themselves free shit down the road and voting for people like Mamdani. And like the solutions to what we have are like, to me, are very, very basic. Like, get married, have kids, raise your kids. Don't cheat on your wife. I mean, how about you try that for a change? Don't cheat on your husband either. And fucking raise good people. Live life the right way. I think if everyone focused more on themselves and their own backyard and stopped trying to fix all the world's problems or all the country's problems or all the states' problems, if we just focus on ourselves, focus on us as an individual and stop looking at it as a collective like the left wants, I think we're all going to be a hell of a lot better off. Guys, thank you very much. I apologize for all these things. The Boat says, I'm out. Great show, Cal. Dude, The Boat, they have their new show. Check them out Tuesday nights too. That's right after Mike's show, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. They were Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. Oh, shit, dude. Boat, put the name of that new show in the chat. I cannot, for the life of me, it's not popping up in my head. It's a great show, man. They do a lot of different things. Those are him, his brother. They are just two of the best people on the planet. PT Pod's laughing. Justin Dell says, in China, someone of important needs an organ transplant. They send the military out to find a 27-year-old male in good health and kill them to take his organ so the other person, I mean, he's not wrong, and we are just getting warmed up. Justin, we are just getting warmed up. I want to let everybody out there know that I'm not going anywhere at all. I love the fact that you're with me. Thank you very much. Finger the fuck out of my like button. Finger the share button. Hit this. Let's grow an army, guys. I'm telling you, the only way to protect ourselves from what is coming at us is to have a strong, solitary unit. You have to learn from the Muslims. You have to learn from what the Jews do. These people vote in overwhelming blocks for themselves. While me and you are fighting over D's and R's and pointing our fingers and Cheeto, and I hate this guy, I hate that guy, they are like, let's stay focused on what our mission is to help us out. They don't care about America. Well, listen, and when I say they, I don't mean all the people in these groups. I mean the powerful people in those groups. They don't care about America. They care about themselves. Just like our politicians, just like everybody else that are in any type of power position in politics. Say that 3 times fucking fast. But no matter what we are, we have to stop bickering amongst themselves. We have to stop blindly defending everybody, no matter who they are. You all know Jack was a shit candidate. He's been a shit candidate his entire life. What are you defending him now for? You guys know when Trump does wrong. What are you defending him for? You don't make people better when you take this tact. But thank you guys very much. Let me tell you something. When you start holding your politicians accountable, you're going to become a caltrop. And we need as many caltrops as we could possibly get. Because I'm going to tell you something, guys. When I became a caltrop and I became a defense mechanism for my town, and I became the guy that said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going after everybody. I don't care who they are, D's, R's, I don't care who it is. You're going to have to answer to me. And if you can't answer to me, I'm going to let the people know. When I decided to do that, I saw a lot of change in my town. I got a lot of response. The amount of people that have messaged me, thank you guys very much. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for us. But I noticed when I became a caltrop and I stopped tolerating the bullshit and I blocked it and started throwing it back at him, I'm telling you, a lot of difference was made when I made that choice just to stand up and start doing something. Go to your council, go to your town meetings, go to your planning board, go to your school board. Or you could bitch for another 4 years, not vote, and get whatever you fucking deserve. That's a caltrop. I'm Mike Calderies. Out.